You know, I really don't get it when people say that that universe is the best sci-fi universe or that other universe is the best sci-fi. This guy is literally named Lion L. Johnson. He's the Primarch of the First Legion of the Legionia Astartes, the Dark Angels, from the Warhammer 40k universe. Fuck all that. The guy's name is literally Lionel Johnson. And check this out. Pretty sure that's a pretty basic thing for keyboards nowadays, but still pretty cool. Anyway, it's been a long time since I actually made a video log, and especially about some books. So I thought, since we're having such a beautiful day outside, why don't I just go and ruin it for me and you? That's a win-win situation. So today we're going to be talking about one of the biggest pieces of shit book that I ever came across, and I am really sad about wasting my money on it. Okay, so without further ado, let's just get into it. The bullshit piece of literature that we're actually going to be talking about today is called The New Kid, and it is from a guy named Temple Matthews. Now, this should have been a warning sign to me, but I was kind of like stupid because I have no idea who Temple Matthews really is, and the warning again was actually given to me at the very last end page of this book. Temple Matthews is the guy who is behind those shitty, suck-ass sequels to classic Disney movies such as Return to Neverland and The Little Mermaid 2. So yeah, if that's not a warning sign, I don't know what the fuck is. Now, I have to tell you all that I actually go to this book fair, a weekly book fair that happens in my city every week almost. And you know what? I'm just telling you this to say that there are pretty awesome things that you can actually find in that book fair. Like, for example, here we have Wonder Woman. This is an encyclopedia of Wonder Woman. It's pretty awesome. It has everything there about this character and the villains and her history and everything. I'm a big fan of Wonder Woman. And yeah, it's pretty awesome, you know. The artwork, everything like that. Then I actually came across this Heat Knight of G.R.R. Martin, a Game of Thrones prequel. It is a graphic novel, and the artwork, the story, pretty awesome. I came across this secondhand. All of those books are secondhand. Those books are secondhand. Pretty awesome books. And finally, I want to give you an example of a really awesome book. Here is the Indiana Jones in-world written journal. It's a lost journal of Indiana Jones himself. It was a like movie prop kind of thing when it first came out. You can actually get this, and it's pretty awesome. So my point is that you can actually find pretty awesome stuff when you go to that book fair. But then again, here's the prime example of the dark side of that whole thing, that you can actually come across really horrific stuff. Now, I'm not a picky guy when it comes to books. I like mostly read fantasy, but come on, I actually like to read fantasy. I have a lot of books there, and there's a box there, a lot of stuff. It's filled with like fantasy books, and even that cupboard over there, whatever. So I just read this first line that Will Hunter is in the new school, and I was like, okay, yeah, I like an underdog story. And the basic premise of this book wasn't too bad, because the basic premise is basically that this guy actually is a demon hunter who goes from school to school. Like, he gets transferred a lot here and there because he's on the hunt for these demons who like keep infesting these schools and possessing those teenagers. And I thought, okay, that is kind of like a Buffy the Vampire, kind of like cool story. I can get behind that. But you know what? Oh man, I didn't know that I was in for a ride, because the worst thing about this whole book is this guy himself. Now, no hate to these three people. I'm pretty sure there are models who just gave their pictures for the cover of this book. But anyway, this guy represents Will, so we're just gonna like point to him and laugh. This is the main character, Will. Now, he is a demon hunter kind of guy, and he's the worst part of the book, because ever hear about the best characters being flawed characters? Temple Matthews didn't get the memo about that, because Will is pretty much flawless. Not even only is he handsome, he's also only 16 years old, but he owns a really huge, awesome car. He has $18 million plus in his bank account. He's like programmed a game, the World of Warcraft equivalent of this universe. The whole world plays that games, and he's actually established a whole company in Silicon Valley. And he has an IQ of 182. They literally say in the book that this guy has an IQ of 182 in the book, and he's invented some really awesome technology weapons to fight these demons that the US Army would love to have. Yeah, that US Army. So the plot basically follows that Will is on his mission to hunt down the demon prince, the big bad of this universe, and shenanigans, just go follow. Now this character here is written as a blonde, blue-eyed, really perfect girl who has her own backstory, that her sister actually went missing, her twin sister, and she just runs into Will, and she's just bananas over this guy. Like, she can't stop thinking about it. Like, Will is kind of like a perfect thing, you know? Oh my god, man, I don't know why I'm even making this video. Fuck this book, okay? So when I put this book down and I went on to see what Temple Matthews has accomplished more, I actually found out that this series has 2 more books. It's a trilogy. Like, oh my god, like the story doesn't end in this book. What? Fuck this book, man. Like, really, fuck this book. It's the worst book that I've ever read, and yeah, fuck it. These are good books. That's pretty much it. Go away now.